It's an absolutely sensational film, so congratulations.
Thank you so much. Should I go ahead and turn my camera off? Or are we just doing audio?
Yeah, just do audio because we're in a radio studio here, so we don't actually have a camera. So yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'll just keep my red lipstick for myself then.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you for watching the film, and thank you for asking me to come and chat with you.
Oh,
Really, it means the world.
no problem. But for our listeners out there, tell us a little bit about your character and how you first became involved with this film.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Christopher Soren Kelly, the writer, director, and also one of the producers and one of the actors, he is also my partner, and we've been making films together since about 2012. We made short films, and we did a lot of acting together. And after a couple of short films and all the work that it takes to make a short film, just the whole process, we were like, we really just need to make a feature. And so Chris started with one idea, and then it started to become a bit too big. We needed a bigger budget than we thought we'd be able to secure. So he came up with a new idea, and we sat down. Well, we actually laid down. It happened in bed, and we sort of hashed out some different ideas. And then Chris went, and he, after a little brainstorming, he went and just wrote out the script, and he wrote the role of Laurel for me. And so I was very lucky in that way. And I will say that even though the role was written for me, it's one of the most challenging roles I've ever played, and that includes stage and screen. It was very challenging, so I'm proud of it because of how hard it was.
Yeah, what did you find was the most challenging part for you?
Well, a couple things. One is Laurel is very sort of restrained and understated, and for me as an actor, I've always been really good at being super emotional, being really kind of messy and angry and sexual and just kind of all over the place, and that's like my wheelhouse. And so reining it in it's not that I'd never done it, but I'd never had to do it at a level of skill before. And so that was one part of it. Another part was the language. It's very lyrical. It's very heightened, and there was a very particular way that Chris heard the music of the dialogue, and so it was really about being able to bring myself and my intuitions and my instincts to it while still honoring the music of the dialogue. And then finally, since Chris is my partner, he knows me really, really well, and so any false note he would immediately pick up on, and I couldn't get away with any sort of tricks. Like, it was just like it all had to be, every second had to be good. And as challenging as that was, it's also something I'm so grateful for.
I was actually going to ask that. What is it like working with your partner? Because Chris is also the director, writer, and also acts in this film alongside you. I've been in a band with my partner, and that's had its ups and downs at times. What is it like for you working with your partner on a huge film like this?
Yeah, the actual process of pre-production and production, I would say we did really well. We definitely had people say, like, "What, you haven't broken up yet?" I'm like, "No, we're fine." Our condo was like a workshop to build props and wardrobe, and then we were like bringing half of our furniture onto the set. So it was like, it was very much like in it, and we just sort of buckled down and did it. I would say probably what's been more challenging is the whole process of post and actually getting the film out, because it takes a while. It takes a while because Chris was doing a lot. We had amazing post-production team, but still a lot rested on his shoulders. And so for me, like, wanting to be able to help and support, but not being able to do a lot of the things that need to be done, and so a lot of it resting on him and just sort of negotiating, like, what that looks like, and it might look like, I wash the dishes more often or something like that, so we figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things that really hit me with this film was the amazing visuals. Was that idea there from the very start when you first started to plot out this film about the stunning visuals and the ice scapes and everything in this film?
Yes. So our amazing cinematographer, Robert Mortore, who actually also shot our short film Chessor, he is brilliant. And he and Chris are really like creative soulmates. They really just work together so well. And it was very important because so much of this is like a locked room mystery thriller. We needed our exteriors to be big and open and very visually stimulating. It seemed very important just to, give people, a bit of a shift from the claustrophobic feel that can come when you're in one space with the characters. And so those locations, Chris and Robert scouted, and we shot those very, very guerrilla style. It was some really challenging but fun filmmaking for sure.
Definitely. And for you as an actress, what was it like working in that kind of conditions? Because it looks like tough conditions.
It was. I'm also a producer on the film, and in a film of this size, budget-wise, producer means like do everything.
Yeah.
And so, which is great. I had lots of control, which is nice. I got to really be involved. Oftentimes I was the first one to arrive to set and the last one to leave. First one because, my makeup was the most extensive. It actually took quite a while to get Laurel put together. But then last to leave often because, I would stay and lock up the warehouse that we were shooting in. And so that might not have been every night, but there were definitely a few late nights, and that was challenging. It was challenging to wear both of those hats, but we did have an amazing team, really passionate, really committed, really wonderful people, and so we were very supported. It was very much a team effort, but yeah, that was challenging to kind of not necessarily be able to just like go like lounge in a trailer, but instead be like, all right, let's deal with like payroll, or let's deal with craft services or something like that.
Now, one of the reasons why this film is getting such a huge buzz here in Australia is the fact that you've got an Aussie in the cast with Nicole Da Silva. She's been in some of the biggest television shows here in Australia that have got a massive fan base. How did Nicole end up being involved with the film, and what was she like to work with?
Wow, are we lucky? What a giant blessing to have Nicole. She's an amazing actress and she's an amazing person. Joshua Baton, who is our lead, is really dear friends with Nicole. And she was here in the States at the time that we were casting and shooting. And that role, it's actually the role, her name's Francesca, which we had not met Nicole or seen Wentworth before naming that character.
Yeah,
it's a coincidence. But we were trying to find the right actor for this role, and originally Chris had written the role as a man, and I had said, you know what, I think you should rewrite that and make it a woman. It would be an amazing role for an actress, and I just really think you should do it. I'm always trying to tip the scales a bit. And he said, you know what, you're right, and so we rewrote it. But then we had the challenge of trying to find the actor that could really pull that off, and Josh introduced us to Nicole, and we sat down and like had tea with her, and we were just like, she was interested, and we were just like, yes, please be in our film. And she came in guns blazing. She went above and beyond. She was just as much a part of the team as anyone else, just as much a part of the team as like the gaffer. We all pitched in, and she was the same. And I know that's not what she's used to, what she's accustomed to, but she was just phenomenal, and she did a great job. And her fan base has been incredibly supportive of the film as well, of course, and we're really grateful for that as well. And yeah, Nicole's an all-round amazing person.
Definitely, and that was actually my next question, was a little bit about Joshua. How did you discover him to be your leading man, and why was he the guy that you ended up going for? Because he does such a great job with the film.
Oh, doesn't he? He's so good. So Josh is a good friend of Chris and I, and also was our acting coach, or still is. I still drop in sometimes to his classes pre-COVID. And he's an amazing acting coach and an amazing actor. He's done tons of stuff, The Pacific, The Night Of, just so many amazing shows. And Chris wrote the role for Josh. And Josh had worked with us before in a short film called Chasseur, which is about, it's about the devil. It's about a devil hunter, someone trying to hunt the devil, and goes to the crossroads and finds the devil's lawyer instead, and Josh plays the lawyer. And it's a really, really cool little short film that Josh and Chris were in together. So it was really a no-brainer. We know he's an amazing actor. We love him as a person. He's also our acting coach, and we were both acting along with producing and Chris directing. So it was like that was an extra bonus too, to have him there just in case. And Josh not only brought his incredible skill as an actor and his wonderful personality, but he also brought a bunch of people, including Nicole, including Eric Thorne, our production designer, including one of our locations, the Speakeasy, where you meet Margot. That came from a friend of his who owns that bar. So Josh just showed up in every way, shape, and form.
That's amazing. Like, yeah, it is. It's such a stunning performance, and the film has done so well as well on the festival circuit. What's it been like doing the festival circuit, especially over the last 12 months with how tough everything has been with the lockdown?
Well, we were really lucky because, which is kind of the name of the game with this film, like we just had so many lucky breaks, but we were lucky because our festival run ended in like January or February, right before the pandemic. So we were able to finish our run, and what we did have to cancel was our big LA premiere. So we had like a big red carpet premiere planned that was we were hoping to really create more buzz and let everyone see it on the big screen that hadn't, but that unfortunately had to be canceled. And so it's been now it's just been the process of like getting it out into the world. And, both Chris and I dealing with a little, low-level compression and just needing to, do all the final things. And we're really happy that it's finally out there, or going to be on Friday anyway.
Yeah. Well, I know so many of our listeners are so excited to be able to watch this film. So I guess to finish up, what would you like to say to the listeners out there before they sit down and watch the Tangle this week?
I would say this is a lean-in film. This is it's not a sort of check your phone and, pay attention to your hot wings. It's a lean-in, buckle up, get on for the ride, and really be present, which is interesting because both Chris and I are meditation teachers, and so in a way we made a film that really requires you to pay attention. And it is a sort of film that you may consider watching more than once. I know one of our reviews, the reviewer mentioned watching times and all the different things that they caught by watching it again, because it's it's dense and the language is really heightened. So I would say if you've had a long day, you're super sleepy, and you just want something that's just entertaining in the background, this is not the film. But if you want something that's going to make you think, if you want something that's going to kind of light up your intellect and get you really engaged, then join us.
Definitely. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, and I know a lot of our listeners are going to go and check out the Tangle, so congratulations on being able to bridge that gap into the Australian market, because it's tough sometimes to get that international market.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, and thanks for helping us create that bridge. We really appreciate you.
Not a problem at all. I'll let you go, but yeah, have a great night, and hopefully we get to talk again in the future.
I hope so. Bye, David.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.